Hey, my name is Tiffany Addis and this is Lisa Stone. We are Aroma Droppers. We're located in Westminster, South Carolina, and we just want to show you how easy it is to have a home party. And what I want to say first is, before I get to my show, I already have pre-made catalogs with order forms and index cards in them, and I give them out to the customers as they come into the home, and also give them a pen. And the index card is for them to jot down notes as I go through the demo. And also for the host, I always do something really nice for them. I like to give bottle top stickers because it encourages them to purchase or host more shows for more oils. And I also give them something that I make. And in this demo, I actually make a bug spray from our Deflect. So normally I'm giving that to the host after I demonstrate how to make it. So you always want to make the host feel appreciated, and that will also help people that are at the show want to host a party for you as well, because they will want free items. So, how I start the show off, I always start with an intro of essential oils. I keep it very basic, and I normally ask if anyone is oiling already. So I kind of have an idea of where to start from, but I do always just cover basics, like essential oils are highly volatile. They evaporate very easily. That's why they're stored in amber bottles. Always keep the lids on tight. Anything you make, you want it in a colored bottle, in a glass bottle. The essential oils are cold pressed or distilled from the root, the bark, the plant, the flower, depending on the oil. So they're very, very concentrated. Small doses are required, 1, 2, 3 drops when you're using essential oils. And in a bottle, in our 10 ml bottle, there's 170 drops. So that's going to last you a while. So that is basically all I say about essential oils. I do also say that they are a part of the whole of herbal medicine. They're just in a more concentrated form, and that's it. You don't have to go into a lot of detail. What you really want to cover in the home party is how to use the oil so that people feel comfortable purchasing the oils. So I like to start with one of, I feel like, the most effective ways to demonstrate the effectiveness of oils is steam inhalation. And people can just immediately feel the steam inhalation going in their sinuses and in their lungs, and it's just a great one to start with. I love to open the show with it. So what we have here, what you do is you just get a cup of, have your host be warming a cup of water while you are giving the little intro. And all you want to do is add 2 drops of each oil to your hot steamy water. And while you can have your host adding it, you can have a guest adding it, or you can be adding it. And while you're adding it, you're just telling what each oil does. And the oregano is a very good bacteria killer. It's going to kill the bacteria. The peppermint will dilate the blood vessels in your sinuses and in your lungs as well, creating more of a blood flow. The tea tree kills the bacteria, or kills the biofilm around the bacteria, so that the oregano can really attack it. And the lemon also attacks it as well and gives it a little bit more of a nicer scent and smell. So what you do, you put those in, and then you just let them pass the cup around, and they breathe it really deep. And they're like, oh my gosh, I can feel that. It feels so awesome. So it's an amazing, amazing example of like an immediate relief, especially if you're doing demos in the winter seasons. But I love to still cover this in the summer because we still have allergies and a lot of things going on. So from steam inhalation, I then talk about a bath and how I use essential oils in the bath. And I normally just say, you know, I throw in some Epsom salts with also a carrier of some sort, which would be maybe our fractionated coconut oil, or you could use honey in the bath, you could use milk in the bath. But what I do is I put my carrier in my hand, and then 8 to 10 drops of the essential oil in the carrier, kind of mix it around and put it right under the faucet as it's running, and let it disperse through the bath. You want that carrier to help get the essential oil through your bath and carry it in your bath. And the salts are just a good addition. You could actually add the essential oils to the salts as well. So I cover that, and at this point, if hopefully you're using the oils and using them in baths, you can cover some of your favorites for baths. My favorite for my 5-year-old is Shield. A favorite for myself, Relaxation, or frankincense for sore muscles. So that's that. And every time I'm covering something, I'm going back and saying, okay, we learned about steam inhalation. I just told you about that. Now we're going to go to topical. So I'm constantly repeating how I've used and how I've shown how to use the oils each and every time. So for the topical, for the summertime demos, I've been demonstrating how easy it is to make our bug repellent. And it's an all-natural bug spray, no DEET involved. You fill a bottle halfway with distilled water and the other half with witch hazel. And you can find witch hazel at your local grocery or health food store. And this is, I think I got this from GNC. It's just a rose of witch hazel. And then you want to put about, depending on how big your bottle is, you want to put a tablespoon or a teaspoon of vegetable glycerin. Lisa will put that in there for me the best she can. And that is basically going to carry the essential oil through the water mixture, the water witch hazel mixture. And then you're going to put 15 to 20 drops of the Deflect into the bottle. Give it a nice shake. And it's ready to spritz and use. And if you happen to be doing the demo outside, you can spritz it right then and give them a real good example of how effective that this mixture is. And again, I would then give this to the host. And they're like, oh, I just got a Deflect or a natural bug repellent. So they're very excited about it. So topical, and also when I'm going through topical, hopefully as a consultant, again, you're using the essential oils and you use certain ones topically all the time. So I personally use Shield a lot topically. When we have sore throats, I just rub it on my throat with a carrier or on the bottom of the feet when my child has a runny nose. You can talk about the lavender and sleep, putting it on the bottom of the feet, the lullaby, putting it on the bottom of the feet. You can talk about slender eyes and putting it on your wrist or your abdomen to curb appetite, give energy. There's so many that we use topically. So use the ones, share about the ones that you're very comfortable with. Peppermint for digestion, indigestion, diarrhea, upset tummy. The common things, try to share the common things because they'll be really interested in those. And absolutely, Lisa reminded me, this is definitely when I cover the carrier oils. And I talk about our fractionated coconut oil and how you always want to mix the essential oil with a carrier because some of these oils are very hot and they will burn the skin. So just avoid that at all costs and just talk about always use a carrier with your essential oil. So, and I actually do even demonstrate it. I put the carrier in my hand, about half a tablespoon, and I'll do 2 or 3 drops. And I normally do something like Shield or frankincense or something, and I just mix it in my hand, and then I just rub it all over me and rub it on my throat. So just so they can see it, demonstrate it. It makes a difference. So the next thing I show is diffusion. And Lisa will just kind of hold it up while I talk about it and the things that I say. I do mention that the post, when it's not covered with water, the diffuser will quit. So water will still be in there. And then I just mentioned filling it to the fill line with water, putting a few drops in, how you need to snap the lid on with the hole in the back. And there is a notch in the front that you can line up as well. And then snapping the top on. And then I go over the controls, the mist control and the light control. The mist control, it starts on high, so click it once, it's medium, click it again, it's low. Click it again, it's off. And then the light, you can click it all the way off as well. I do mention when it is finished diffusing, there's still oil in there, and it will also flash. That's not anything to be alarmed about, that's just how it cuts off. I also always cover that this works on vibration and not heat. So you can leave it safely in the room at night and not have to worry about your kids being around it or knocking it over. I also always mention that the diffusion of the fine particles in the air, that actually cleans the air molecules. It doesn't just mask like a plug-in or something like that would do. So I'm always sure to really explain the ultrasonic benefit of our diffuser. And I always mention that this is the safest way to administer essential oils to younger children, like children under 2. Lavender for sleep, lullaby for sleep, Shield for colds and flus and stuff going around the house. So diffusion, those are all the things you really want to highlight with that. So we talked about steam inhalation, bath, topical, diffusion, and then I cover ingestion very lightly because I do take a very reserve stance on ingestion. And the reason I like to show this is because it's been very effective for my customers, and I've seen it really work very well. So I really love to cover this, and I like the fact that we are covering ingestion with the carrier oil. We are never, just like on our skin, we are never just dropping oils down our throat. It's not a good idea. We do not ever promote that. What we want to promote, if you are ingesting, to ingest with a carrier. So what we do here is called the honey shot. And this is for allergies. This can replace your allergy meds and that kind of thing. It's a natural antihistamine. So you take about a tablespoon of honey, as Lisa is doing, and then you would put 1 drop each of the lavender, the lemon, and the peppermint. And I demonstrate it just like she's doing. We would put the drops in, we stir it up, and we let somebody take it, a volunteer. And sometimes everybody wants to take it, especially if it's allergy season. So I always have enough that everybody can take the shot if they want the shot. And I've had customers, Lisa probably has too, that immediately they're like, oh, my throat was itching, it feels so good now. You always want to make sure you're using local honey and stress that as well, because that's going to give you added benefits.
And you can add a little water to make it go down smoother.
Yes, I love to add just a little bit of warm water because sometimes the honey gets stuck in your throat, and I don't like that feeling, so I always ask if anyone wants to add a little warm water. So we have covered basics of the oils, steam inhalation, bath, topical, diffusion, ingesting. And then I basically, start closing the show. I ask for questions. I go over the catalog and what is in the catalog, the packages, the individual pricing on the back sheet, which also tells you what each oil is good for. They love, they love this sheet. I mean, they stick on this sheet. But I do always, sometimes they'll ask me, well, what's your favorite package, or what's your favorite oils? And I do have some that are my favorites that I feel like are very staple oils. And there's one package in here that has pretty much all of those in there. So I'll recommend that package a lot. So they get a lot of oils, and maybe they want the diffuser too. It's just a better deal. So you really want to try to push the packages as much as you can so that they get several oils, because they don't realize how much they'll use them once they get them. And you don't want them to be like, I wish I would have gotten that, or, later on be like, well, what do I need for this? And then they're like, well, I don't have that one. So if you can just help them get several oils that they have a good collection, and when they have problems, they can call you and they'll have what they need. Again, always reward the host. And at the end, I also mentioned that the host will get an extra half-off item for anyone who books a show. And I do these shows very quick, 30, 45 minutes, about what you saw here, sometimes a little longer if there's a lot of discussion and a lot of chatter. But it's very quick. I walk in with one bag, and so they see me, it's no frills, it's simple, and they see that and they're comfortable inviting me to their home, and they want to help the host get another item too, half off. So personally, I've been booking 1 to 2 shows from each show, and to me that's a success, much more than just a huge show, because you have more money down the line, and you've got more contacts as well. So always make sure you focus on booking at the end of the show. Lisa, got anything? Keep it simple. That's her motto, keep it simple. Thanks, y'all.